I'm back, and the meeting I want to talk about now is the climate emergency meeting that's just happened. And we'll get on to the nitty-gritty bit in a minute, but I felt quite sorry for the lady who was participating in a presentation via Zoom, because it went a bit wrong. She got a very nice presentation, and as soon as she started, all hell broke loose. Have a look at this.
I think Taylor's going to move my slide for me.
It's a kitty wakes.
Hello. So the multiple benefits of 20 miles an hour as a presumption are that it's better for local businesses, fewer casualties, healthier, stronger communities, less air and noise pollution, better independent mobility for all. I understand you're probably most interested in its climate-friendly features. It will lower the transport costs and bring about more walking and cycling. It's very popular.
Sorry. Can we really can't pick up. Sorry. It's not far. Oh dear. Sorry. I'm really sorry, but it's getting a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
Not sure how to make that work.
That's better.
I could try coming in again.
It was.
We're going to rewind a little bit, because you remember Taylor, our clerk. The clerks used to sort of be the focal point of the meetings, and the Zoom camera, because it was closer to them, always used to give them centre stage. And then they discovered the little feature in Zoom that allows you to tell the camera to ignore certain bits. And if you look carefully over the last 10, 15 meetings, there's a little grey square, and they can actually set where they sit to be ignored by the camera, so that when they move like that, it doesn't suddenly think they're about to speak and switch to their picture, which is nice. But in this particular case, concentrate on the little grey square, because when it's all going wrong, Taylor starts to jump about like she's conducting an orchestra. Have a quick look at this again. I'll rewind back. It just made me smile. But they got it sorted out, and the chaotic sounds disappeared, and we got onto the meeting. And that's where I want to get a bit more serious. On the surface, this lady makes an awful lot of claims. But you go to their website and have a look. They link to all sorts of evidence, and quite a lot of the evidence is actually contrary to what they're saying. She's clearly part of a sort of pressure group to try and get this put into play and get it done. And there's plenty of reasons why we shouldn't be doing it. We get swayed by the ones about, children being killed by the accidents, and they make some crazy claims for the amount of reduction. And also, if you think back to when you're at school, quite a lot of their claims are complete rubbish. Now, no doubt when we're talking about roads with cars parked down either side, people can't go very fast because you have to keep divvying in and out of the spaces, don't just let other people through. But look at Lowestoft as a whole. We've got very long roads. I mean, typically we've got roads with residential housing like Denmark Road, which goes on forever. We've got roads like Victoria Road. And Victoria Road is always chaotic. Plus we've then got the sort of the route through from Lowestoft Cemetery through to maybe sort of Alton Broad South Railway Station. There's an awful lot of residential accommodation both sides of those roads. And we know those roads never ever get up to 30 miles an hour in the mornings anyway, because you're in a queue of traffic pretty much the whole length of the thing. So it's a bit strange to be talking about 20-mile-per-hour speed limits. No doubt there are places where they would be useful. Anywhere where there's pedestrianisation, perhaps. So north of the town, there's quite a few streets where at the ends of them there are pedestrian areas. So in certain places I can see this working fine. But the claims this lady makes are ludicrous. They undermine the whole point of what she's saying, because she says that if you slow from 30 miles an hour down to 20 miles an hour, you don't lose any time. Well, you do. You lose half, actually. So a journey that would be 10 minutes at 30 miles an hour becomes 15 minutes if you take it down to 20. That's basic maths. She makes the point that when cars accelerate hard from 0 to whatever the speed limit is, that is the bit where you take most of your petrol consumption. So if you're petrol or diesel, it's putting your foot down that does it. And in actual fact, in a lot of cars like the one I drive, when you put your foot down to accelerate, you see your miles per gallon things shoot down. And that's a lot more of an enhancement to me to take it easy than it is on any of the other reasons. It hurts my pocket, and that's why I'm always a bit gentle. Once you're driving at 20 or 30 in my car, the miles per gallon stays the same. If you slow people down to 20 miles an hour from 30, then in a given stretch of road, you increase the number of vehicles on it. They're travelling slower, which actually means the pollution is higher. When cars are travelling faster and there are less of them, the pollution is less. So their things don't work. If you actually go to their website, it's actually a joke, because loads of the sources of evidence in their FAQ section don't exist anymore. Where they do exist, they're really old studies. So we're looking at studies they're using as the basis of their claims, which go back to 2012, 2013, 2014, so over 10 years ago. There are lots of slides that actually make you think a bit more as well. Things like the cost of implementing a scheme. There is actually a little table here that shows you sort of the number and the costs of schemes at the date this slide was done, and no doubt inflation-wise that means the price has gone up since then. So it doesn't really hold water. Quite a lot of the university studies that they're looking at are actually on slightly different subjects, and they're trying to swing the results back into this particular topic. It doesn't work. I mean, the idea of reducing the speed, yeah, okay, I can see that. And like the people in the meeting said, and for once, I actually agree with a lot that Wendy Brooks said. She said she cycles, and that's great. But she also used to be a driver, and she also appreciated the problems that drivers have. And fair enough, dropping from 30 to 20 in a schools area, or in that little bit in Alton Broad, as we're going past the community centre. People do slow down. I mean, a lot of them don't slow down enough, of course, but they do slow down. So it has a traffic calming measure. There's also some data on the Department of Transport's website that actually tells you that traffic calming measures, sort of, the little swerves or the little mini bumps, not the huge ones, actually have more impact on safety. And I cannot find any data to back up her claims for how many people get injured less than what they did before. There doesn't seem to be any. I mean, I've looked on all the logical places to look, and I can't find anything that quantifies dropping the speed limit from 30 to 20 as generating so many people being saved. It makes no sense. The site is just so full of crazy claims and unchecked evidence. It's ludicrous. She's obviously got a point, and I do agree with the idea that, it would be nice to calm things sometimes. But if you look at that map of Suffolk, dropping the speed limit in all those places is going to make things worse. I mean, we've just spent all this money on a new bridge because congestion is so bad in Lowestoft and has been since the 60s. So it's taken us from the 60s to now to actually get a new bridge going to try and alleviate some of the traffic problems we have in Lowestoft. Now, I live near the Normaston fire station, and to get to a place in Victoria Road where I take my grandson to can take me sometimes 45 minutes. It's 3 miles. So 3 miles to do 45 minutes, you know. That's traffic calming, isn't it? I mean, nobody is doing 30 miles an hour. I don't know where the idea is that everybody thinks we are. If you try and do any of the major routes in Lowestoft, you're going to be lucky to get to 30. A few of the bigger roads, maybe. Some of the new bypassy things. But realistically, you know, we don't need to drop the limit from 30 to 20 because no one's doing 30. The places where most injuries happen are in schools, and that's actually sorted. You know, we've got the 20-mile-an-hour speed limits near all of the schools, which is where the majority of accidents with children happen, if you look at the figures. Please, council, before you do anything silly on this subject, check the figures these people are giving, because they sound great and there is no substance to them whatsoever. I was going to talk about loads of other things that happened in this meeting, but this has got me so cross that this person has put her point across and people are taking it seriously. I'd urge you all, read the real data. Department of Transport, NSPCC, all sorts of organisations who you can trust have got real statistics on injuries on the road. Have a read of them and then see how that relates to the tripe that this person has actually been saying. Their organisation is a joke. It's hyperbole gone mad. It's just a load of waffle that sounds as if it's scientific data, and when you dig into it, it's not. She made so many generalisations about, oh, this will do this and this will do that. She just has no understanding of basic physics and maths. You cannot reduce traffic and get the results that she says. We would be in an even worse position if anybody follows her idea, lovely though they may be as aims. Please check the facts, because what she said is so much drivel. Anyway, that's me. I'm a bit cross about this one because I hate the idea that someone can come along to the council, do a presentation and people take it seriously when it's based on rubbish. And I think this particular one was. We don't want people to get hurt on the roads. Of course we don't. But this is a ludicrous way of even considering trying to reduce it. They're just off with the fairies. See you on the next video. Look after yourselves. Take care.